Okay. Let me go live. I just did that. Hang on, y'all. Public. Next. I did that once. Streaming software that's best for you depends on the type of content. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. We're going to see Instagram. All right. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? My name is Pierre Huey, aka Mr. P. The P is for patience. Today, this morning, it is Wednesday, the 20th. We are doing our Barber Theory study. And as you all know by now, for those that have been following me, I am a barber of 29 years. I am an instructor of 9. Good morning. Good morning. I am an instructor of 9 going on 10. And basically, I help people pass their barber exams. I help them particularly with theory, and I definitely help with practical. But my main course of expertise has been the book. What book? This book right here, because this is what you guys are going to be tested on. So this is what we study. I do my studying according to the days of the week. They correspond to the domains of the CIB. What is the CIB? Candidate Information Bulletin. All right. So Mondays we do scientific concepts. Tuesday we do hair care services, which we did yesterday. Wednesdays we do facial hair and skincare services, and Thursday we do implements, tools, and equipment. All right. So today being Wednesday, we're going to go through the CIB. We're going to identify one point of contact for the facial hair and skincare services, and we are going to study it. Okay. All right. Now, first things first, I always go over the CIB. I want you guys to always be familiar with the CIB. The CIB is the Candidate Information Bulletin. It is where they tell you the things that they are primarily looking for, that they're primarily going to test you on, and it's in your handbook. Okay, so all of this information should be given to you anytime you have somebody that's a student, anytime that you're studying to take your test. These should be the things that your instructor goes over with you. Okay. And if not, you got me. I do public study. Like I said, I do public study corresponding to the days of the week. And now what I've recently started doing is on Friday, we talk about the practical. All right. Now, this is what I call public study. We just generally go through the book. We pick a topic and then we just go through that topic. All right. If you want a class that's more pertinent, if you want a class where we hyper focus on the things that you need, I do have a paid class that is, you have to pay for it. I do have a paid class link. Link is everywhere. The link is in the description of this video. All my videos, you can find it. If you are on TikTok, you can find it in my bio. If you are on, if you are everywhere else, you can find it. You can find it in the description below of the video. Okay. And if you cannot, you can find me everywhere at Pierre Huey, PIERREHOUEY. You can find me anywhere. I got the link that I can just send it to you. I can DM the link to you if you can't find it anywhere else, but I assure you it's very easy to find. All right. With that being said, let's bring up the CIB and let's talk about it. Okay. All right. So, do I need to bring this over here? Here we go. All right. So yesterday we talked about hair care services. Again, let's go over percentages real quick. Okay. All right. So 35% of your test deals with scientific concepts. We did that on Monday. Yesterday we did hair care services. 40% of your tests. All right. We went over a few points of contact yesterday, primarily talking about draping. All right. Okay. Today, we are talking about facial hair and skincare services, which is 15%. All right. You have, let me make sure. Yep. You have 4 points of contact: A, B, C, and D. All right. Let's talk about each one. A, client consultation, analysis, documentation for facial hair and skincare services. Number one, evaluate the client's skin, the type of skin, the condition of the skin. Two, identify contraindications. What are contraindications? If you've been studying with me in previous weeks, you would know contraindications are anything that would stop a service or prevent a service. Okay, so that could be if you was getting a shave and you got a lot of bumps on your head. Technically, that would be a contraindication. All right, if you have chapped skin on your face or something like that, that will be a contraindication. If you got ringworm, contraindication. Anything that makes you say, all right, look, I'm not going to do this service, that's a contraindication. All right, okay, don't be fooled by the big words. Okay. So number two, identify contraindications, disorders, and diseases. Three, determine services and or products for facial hair and skincare services. All right. And four, document and maintain client records. We talked about that. A consultation card, service history, medical history. We talked about that in the previous section. I'll just say this, it's low percentage. It pays to know. It pays to know it now, but it's low percentage. You're not going to see too much on the test where they're talking about documentation and maintaining client records. All right. And if they give you a question like that, those are what we call gimme questions. So it shouldn't be hard to arrive at the right answer when it comes to talking about client records. All right. Okay. B, apply knowledge of draping for facial hair and skincare services. Well, that is very interesting because we talked about draping yesterday. We went into great detail. Now, we went into detail about draping for shampooing and conditioning. But guess what? It's a lot of the same thing. Okay. All right. C, apply knowledge of principles, procedures, and safety for facial hair and skincare services. That is, complete shave service with required strokes. 2, facial hair design. 3, the facial process itself, meaning the cleansing, the steam towel, the massage, and the massage strokes for a facial itself. All right. 4, electrotherapy and light therapy. And D, apply knowledge of purpose and types of electrotherapy and light therapy. Okay. So I want to try to find one that's going to give you guys value today. All right. Let's see. Tell you what we'll do. We'll start here. So I like going in the index and finding what we need and identifying what we need that way. Okay. So basically, I'll tell you what we do. So complete and shave service with the required strokes. And we'll start there. So we'll do point of contact C because we did A and B the previous weeks. So we'll go point of contact C, and I'll highlight it. And again, all of my TikTokers and my Instagrammers, if you want to see this, just join my YouTube channel where you can see the visual where we're talking about this. You can see the CIB, but anybody else, we'll just talk about it. And again, you can find the CIB. All you gotta do is just Google it for your state. And my state is South Carolina, by the way. And with that being said, South Carolina got a certain CIB. This version that I'm using is the old PCS CIB, but it's the most thorough. And PCS has the most, they got the most thorough handbook. So what is the handbook? The handbook is where they go over the whole process from the time you go to barber school and sign up, or you do an OJT program and sign up, all the way to the time that you take your test and you pass and you receive your license. The handbook goes over everything. The handbook tells you all that you need to know. Whatever question that you got, you should have answered through your handbook. Go look at the handbook. Okay, students, go look at your handbook. The handbook break all of that down. Signing up for the test, what you need for the test, how much the test costs, how much, what's the procedures of the test, the CIB itself, that's in there. All of this stuff is part of the handbook. Okay, like I said, PCS is my favorite one to reference because they don't leave anything out. It's 44 pages. Yes, you have to read 44 pages and understand all 44 pages for your career. That's from the time you start barber school, and time you start your barber education to the time that you take your test. Every single step is in that handbook. Okay. And if we got to do a video on just the handbook, I promise you we will. It'll be a long one though. So you got to be willing to pay attention. All right. Let's see here. We are going to do knowledge of principles, procedures, and safety for facial hair and skin care services. All right. So let's talk about the shave service and the required strokes. And I am in the index and I'm looking up shaving. That's not it. No, that's not it. Why y'all playing with me? There we go. All right. So that's page 338. If anybody got their books, we're on page 338. All right. Okay. When performed correctly, a full facial shave, complete with hot towels, lotions, massage, one of the most relaxing yet rejuvenating services men can enjoy in the barbershop. Although safety and electric razors may have made it more convenient for men to shave at home, this self-service approach does not provide the preparation, the relaxation, and finishing elements of a well-executed barbershop shave. And I agree. Anytime you got somebody, oh man, I do the shaving at home, hit them with that paragraph, all right? Your client can also benefit from mustache performed in the shop since the barber is better positioned and trained to create a more balanced and even facial hair design. And another thing too, if you got somebody that's very particular about their beard, they have a hard time getting that line correct right there. But us as barbers, we don't, because we have a different vantage point that we can see that is completely even. Versus if you're doing it yourself and you're looking in the mirror, you try to get that line correct. I've seen most of my clients with a beard that achieve varying levels of success or failure. That's usually where they have the hardest time. This line either right here, in the middle, or all the way down here for a full beard. All right. Okay, so last week we did talk about the basic guidelines for shaving the client. We talked about the do's and don'ts. We talked about the hair type considerations. All right. Today, what we are going to do, we are going to identify the shaving areas of the face. We're going to talk about them. Okay. And again, if you need to see a visual, you got to make sure you got your Milady Standard Edition 6 edition. And you're going to go on page 340, 341, and we're going to they talk about it. But I am going to, and they show you the diagram. But we are going to talk about it, okay? 14 shaving areas of the face, not the strokes. There are 4 strokes. And again, if you was with us last week, you would know the 4 strokes is freehand, backhand, reverse freehand, reverse backhand, okay? And you will know why the freehand and the reverse freehand are identified as such, and the backhand and the reverse backhand are identified as such. So if you need to, just go to my YouTube channel. All these videos are there. All right, just the descriptions are in the title, and you can identify that previous video, and you can catch up. All right. Again, 14 shaving areas of the face to be shaved during the first time over part of the service. These areas are shaved systematically and sequentially from one section to another using a specific razor position to shave with the grain in each area. That is a gimme question. What is the first type of razor stroke when performing a shave? It is with the grain, not against it. It is with the grain. And a lot of times, y'all, let me give y'all a secret. So a lot of times when I'm doing like my shape ups and things like that, I do with the grain first as well. Meaning, if I have a pair of trimmers, a lot of times you'll see a lot of barbers or a lot of quote unquote urban barbers. When we doing the trimmers, we have an overhand grip with the trimmers, and the blade technically looks like it's upside down, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So a lot of times you'll have us, we coming in this direction. We're shaving, we're using our trimmers and we're cutting the hair and we're doing your shape up in this direction. The reason being is that's a shaving idea. That's a shaving concept. So when we do that, it's going with the grain first. All right. You're trying to cut the hair in a certain way, because when you want to come back and clean it up, because a lot of times we want our hair very, very clean. Our shaves, we want it very, very clean. But you cut down considerably on the chances of you getting razor bumps by going with the grain first. Now, here's something that the jury is out on it, but there's no scientific. Okay, when we break it down, I don't think that you can completely cut somebody in a way that they don't have potential for razor bumps, because you are cutting the hair so clean when you're going back. Even if you go with the grain and then you come back against the grain, that's a close shave, right? I haven't seen where that, if I had 100 clients, somebody's going to have razor bumps when you come back with the close shave. All right. When you come back with using your trimmers, somebody's going to have razor bumps somewhere. All right. Not all 100. If you go with the grain first and then come back against the grain, all 100 people, out of that, somebody is going to have razor bumps. It's just, there's something, you can't do anything about that. All right. As far as the bumps happening from a close shave. Okay. Now, you got products that you can put on there like Skin Tight and stuff like that, which is actually my favorite product for that. But what I'm saying is, going with the grain, you always go with the grain first. When you're doing a shaving service, with the grain first. This is real life talk that I'm giving y'all right now. You're going to do a shave on somebody, you're going to get this sharp ass blade and you put it on somebody's skin, go with the grain first. Even if you know you're going to come back and go against the grain, go with the grain first. It considerably cuts down the chances of the person catching razor bumps, which is also known as pseudo folliculitis. It cuts down on that by a large margin. It's not necessarily saying that they're not going to have razor bumps, period, but it cuts down a large margin. It increases your chances that the skin stays smooth. Okay. All right. So you got 14 shaving areas. Let's talk about it. So one, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, right here somewhere. Okay. Two, it's right here. Just imagine, right? Y'all with me? Here. Okay. Matter of fact, let me make myself bigger, cuz. Hold on, let me take that out there. Okay. There we go. All right. Two, right here. Three, mustache area. Okay. Four, right here. Five, up here. Okay. Depending on how they do six. Yeah. So then you come here. 6, this side. 7, 8. There we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 11 here. 12 right here. 13 right here. And 14 can be this section right here. Okay. Y'all got me? We can do it one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 11, 12, 13, and 14 right here. Okay. Those are your 14 shaving areas. All right. Let's talk about them. Shaving area number 1. Freehand. Okay. From the sideburn towards the jawbone and angle of the mouth. So we did that, right? From here coming this way. Okay. 2, angle of the mouth toward point of chin. This is backhand. Okay. 3, freehand. 4, freehand. 5, reverse freehand. And again, what did we say? What's up, Miss Bridges? How you been doing? Good to see you. So here's the difference between the freehand and the reverse freehand. The positioning in relation to the client. When you're doing the reverse freehand, just means you're behind the client doing the freehand. That's all that means. So these strokes that we just did, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're in front of your client, okay, or to the side of your client. Because technically, if you was really doing the shave service, you would have them laying down, like you would have them horizontal in your barber chair. Okay, so it would be the equivalent of like them laying down, so to speak. All right. Okay. Reverse freehand, you are behind your client, you're doing the freehand. Okay. Thank you for the likes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I hope you are doing well. And I hope you're still singing too. All right. Where were we? So this backhand. Okay. This one is backhand on the other side. Okay. So it was freehand on this side. It's backhand on this side. Okay. Okay. Then from here, freehand. Then from here, backhand. This one is reverse freehand again. Okay. And then let's see. Yeah, we did that. Okay. This is freehand. This is number 11. Number 12. This is freehand or backhand, your choice, whichever one is comfortable. This one is reverse freehand because you're behind the client. And then this one is reverse freehand because you're behind the client. Okay. And if you need to see an example of that, you can just go on YouTube. You can Google those and you'll find them. All right. All right. Let's see. We're going to talk about razor positions and razor strokes, and then we will conclude from there. Okay. But let's go here for a second. Yeah. So that counts for number 1. Part C of part 4. So complete shave service with required strokes. And y'all, I keep confusing surface with service because I've been talking about surface a lot yesterday. So excuse the Freudian slip, please. All right. Term used to describe the correct angle of cutting with a razor is called the cutting stroke. To achieve a proper cutting stroke, the razor is positioned at a slight angle to the skin surface and stroke with the point leading. This should be a light-handed forward gliding motion that is most often positioned to shave with the grain of the hair, not against it. Okay. 4 razor positions used in the practice of barbering are freehand, backhand, reverse freehand, and reverse backhand. The 3 positions and strokes used in facial shaving are freehand, backhand, and reverse freehand. All right. So you have 4 strokes, but you have 3 that are used in facial shaving, which is the freehand, the backhand, and reverse freehand. Let me break down how they might ask that question, right? So they'll say the following strokes are used in shaving except what? And they will say freehand, backhand, reverse freehand, reverse backhand. Now, it's on you to know that the reverse backhand ain't even used in shaving, because the orientation of your positioning, you're going to be doing reverse freehand. There's no situation where you need the reverse backhand, because you're going to be on either side when you do the backhand stroke, the backhand razor stroke. All right. Position refers to the way the razor is held in the barber's hand to perform a stroke movement. For example, your instructor may direct you to hold the razor in the freehand position or position the razor at about a 30-degree angle. Where are my students when I need them? How many times do we talk about the 30-degree angle? I even talk about the 30-degree angle when I'm cutting with the trimmers. We talk about the 30-degree angle. I do my shape-ups with the 30-degree angle. I modify my trimmers so I can achieve the 30-degree angle, because if you have, I use the T outliners. When you use the T outliners, they have the covering. They got like this little metal covering right there by the blade. You can't really do a 30-degree and really get any effect from the shape up that you're doing. But if you modify them, you absolutely can get that 30-degree. So that's another benefit of modifying your clippers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look up modifying trimmers and you'll understand what I'm saying. All right. So again, 30-degree angle. The stroke is the actual movement of the razor as it is held in one of the four positions. For example, a freehand stroke is used to shave area 1, or use a gliding stroke towards you. You will need to know and practice the following skills for your test. All right. Especially for your practical. Now, the thing about South Carolina's practical right now, number one, you used to have a live model, as in another human comes with you and you do the shaving service on them. Now they let you do it on the mannequin. Now it is your responsibility, because they change it. Sometimes they have you actually use a razor blade. Sometimes they have you do what's called a mock shave, and you don't use the actual razor blade. You got to have a razor that has a detachable blade or a disposable blade. Okay, find out. Okay, don't just take my word for it. Call them yourself and say, hey, is this a mock shave for the shaving part of the practical? Call State Board and ask them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Georgia too. Yeah. South Carolina, Georgia. And I'm going to find out about some more states. It's only 5 strokes for the test. Okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah, let's do that, and then we're gonna talk about again, we're gonna talk a little bit more about razor positions and strokes. Okay, so here's what you need to know about this: where to use a particular razor position and stroke, how to hold a razor for each position and stroke, where to position your fingers, the wrist, elbow of the dominant hand in relation to the razor. Position the opposite hand on the client's skin in relation to the razor. Position your body in relation to the client to facilitate a razor position and stroke. They're looking at all of that. For your practical, they're looking at all of that. They might ask you a few of these questions about it too, all right, on your theory. Next, how to hold or stretch the skin to find the balance between stretching the skin too much or too little. That is very important. Now, when you do your practical and you're doing this on the mannequin, they're going to give you some slack, because they can't tell if you're pulling too much or too little anyway. They just want to see the motion that you understand to do that when you're doing a shave service. Okay. All right. Using the cushions of the fingertips to stretch the skin with the proper amount of pressure. Use the thumb and second finger as the primary digits for stretching the skin. That's one people tend to miss. All right. That's one of those gimmies that you should be focused on. All right. Use the thumb. Yeah, I just said that. Stretch different areas of the skin in the opposite direction that the razor will travel. All right. How to position and stroke the razor on the surface of the skin to angle the razor at about 30 degrees relative to the skin surface. Let me tell y'all about the practical. I've had people that they've been in the game for a long time. They are just supremely skilled at doing shaving, right? And I find it interesting. They'll go take their practical and they miss questions on the shaving. Do you know why they tend to miss the questions on the shaving? And I'll ask them, I'll be like, all right, well, show me on the mannequin what you did. And you know why they missed it? Because they did not hold the razor blade at about 30 degrees. They might hold it 45 degrees. They might hold it 20 degrees. There is a clear difference. Okay. Good morning, Janice. Thank you for joining. There is a difference between holding the blade at 30 degrees. Here's the thing. Here's why that's so important. At 30 degrees, you're going to achieve the shaving result that you're trying to do. At 20 degrees, you may pull the hair. At 45 degrees, you may scrape the client's skin, if not cut them. That's why it's so important. So 30 degrees is what we call the sweet spot when it comes to shaving. Okay. But yeah, they will take off points and you'll be like, man, I did the 5 strokes. I did this, what I was supposed to do. I did that, what I was supposed to do. And I'll ask them, what was your angle? What was your angle of your blade? And if they say what you're talking about, I know you got that part wrong. You got a 30 degrees. That's the magic number. All right. Okay. How to use a forward gliding movement that leads with the point of the razor. All right. Typical shaving stroke. All right. Other things you need to know. Using the proper stroke length on different areas of the face. Using strokes of 1 inch to 3 inches to avoid shaving too far from the stretching point. Use shorter strokes around the mouth, over the ears, and in other tight areas. Develop a medium stroke speed to avoid very fast or very slow movements. These are all very important. These are things that you don't even think about that you're doing. Okay. Adjust the rate of speed of the stroke according to the area being shaved. Use smooth the strokes that carry through once started without stopping and starting. All right. How to recognize growth patterns and the grain of hair in different areas of the face. Let's stop there real quick. Thank you, Keisha. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, go follow my people, y'all. If y'all ain't following Big Keish, Big Virgo, go follow her for that Big Keish, Big Virgo energy. All right. Stop playing with it and go follow her. All right. How to recognize growth patterns in the grain of the hair. What is that, y'all? That is a what? Analysis. Scalp, hair and scalp analysis. Are y'all not seeing a pattern here? Every service that we are talking about, you have a hair and scalp or hair and skin analysis. It don't matter what service that you're doing. Hair and skin and scalp analysis. Take a look at what you're doing before you do it. That goes into the safety. All right. That counts as safety. Know what you're getting into. Know what you're dealing with before you start. So if somebody comes and they got a full beard and they want you to shave, if somebody comes with all this up here, right? Let's say they have what we call the George Jefferson, and this area is bald. The hair is around. The hair is growing around here, even if it's light. And they say, look, I want you to shave this. I want to shave. I want a full service shave, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the hair is low. You still need to do a hair and scalp analysis. Period. When you do your practical hair and scalp analysis, it never hurts to do a hair and scalp analysis for each service that you are going to do on your practical. All right. Sometimes they'll give you points for that you don't even know you was getting points for. All right. So identifying areas where the direction of the hair growth changes, or we call it cowlicks, right? Even if it's on the face, right? So if somebody's hair is normally going this way and then it just changes and goes this way, I've seen it. It's very common. All right. You got to know about that. Recognize use of the terms with the grain, against the grain, and across the grain. Those are 3. It's not 2. It's 3. With the grain, against the grain, across the grain. That's for you, Dante. Wherever you are, that's for you. With the grain, against the grain, across the grain. All right. We had to go in depth about across the grain. Anybody y'all see my student Dante, ask her with the grain, against the grain, what's the third? And she better answer it. She better get it right. All right. Adjust stroke speed and pressure to accommodate the texture or the density of the hair. All right. Next, how to work efficiently and effectively to do the following. Perform strokes so little to no lather is left behind. You don't want to leave any lather left behind. All right. Keep the non-dominant thumb and fingertips dry for stretching purposes. All right. Start strokes from a clean skin surface into the lathered surface. Wipe residual lather and hair from the razor in a safe and clean manner. I actually like doing that with hot towels. It's got a very relaxing effect. Ain't that right, Keisha? She said period. All right, and check your work for rough or missed patches. All right, so that section, we'll revisit that section again, especially when we start talking about the practical. A lot of those little things are what the proctors are looking for. They will take off points for little things that you probably didn't even notice. You probably didn't even notice you was leaving a little bit of lather on there. Or you probably didn't notice that you got lather on your thumb that you use to stretch your skin, or your fingers that you use to stretch your skin. Those are supposed to stay dry at all times. They checking for how do you put the lather on? Are you using circular motions? All right, that is a massage thing. Are you using circular motions when you put the lather on, right? Are you just slapping it on there? Now look, once you take the test and you pass and you get your license, however you do it is however you do it, right? But they want to see it with your fingers. The CIB says put that shit on with your fingers. Don't put it on with a shaving brush. Don't put it on with a shaving brush. They'll take off points. And you'll be like, all right, I don't see what I did everything right. I don't see why they took off for this. I don't see why they took off for that. Because, again, we're looking at everything from the perspective of the CIB, which tells you this is what they're looking for. This is what they're going to evaluate you on. All right. You got to be aware of that. Okay. I've been feeling good, y'all. So that is 36, well, about to be 37 minutes. I appreciate y'all hanging on with me. I appreciate y'all paying attention. I appreciate all of that. I thought y'all would have checked out, about 20 minutes ago, but obviously y'all want to pass this test. Now, that being said, if anybody that you know can use my services, I am very easy to find. Everybody here knows somebody that is in barber school or about to embark upon going to barber school, or they in the position of taking their tests. They've had problems with their tests. They might have failed their tests. They might be nervous about taking a test. They may be taking their test soon. If you hear anybody mentioning those words, test, barber exam, barber school, etc., I am your guy. Okay? I have a paid class that we go into just mind-numbing detail about the processes, the high percentage questions, the typical things that you're going to deal with on this test. I got in my paid class, I've talked to a bunch of people that have taken the test, and I love talking to them right after the test to get insights. So we got all of that stuff in my paid class. It is called none other than Past Barber Theory. All right. You can find it anywhere. And if you can't find it, you can find me anywhere at Pierre Huey, Pierre. You see it at the bottom of the screen for all my YouTubers, StreamYarders, etc. Okay. That being said, today is Wednesday, the 20th. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Peace.